Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the star of our show, Teri.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Music and Me. I am your host, Teri, and this episode is extra special because if you're listening the week it comes out, I am actually in New York City right now living my dream. That's right, I have finally made it to my favorite city, and what better way to celebrate than with a soundtrack dedicated to the Big Apple? New York has inspired some of the most iconic songs of all time, from soaring anthems to Broadway showstoppers. And in this episode, I'm going to be sharing my ultimate New York City playlist, the songs that capture the energy, the magic, and the hustle of the city that never sleeps. And I'll tell you how each song represents New York, why it made my list, and even throw in some fun facts along the way. So, whether you're a fellow New York dreamer or just love a great city-inspired song, let's all take a musical journey through the streets of NYC. You know, New York City has been my dream destination for as long as I can remember. There's just something about it, the energy, the lights, the endless possibilities. I think my love for the city started with the movies and music, and that made it feel larger than life. But deep down, I've always been drawn to it. New York is the place where people go to chase their dreams, to make things happen. And of course, it's the home of Broadway, which, as you all know, is one of my greatest passions. Now, after years of dreaming, my dream is coming true, and I cannot wait to soak in every moment. And what better way to celebrate than with a playlist of songs that capture the heart and soul of the city? And some of these songs I have planned for certain points in my trip. So look forward to that. All right, now let's get to the music. I have to start with the ultimate New York anthem, my absolute favorite song about the city, Empire State of Mind Part 2 by Alicia Keys. This isn't just a song, it is a love letter to New York City. And while the original Jay-Z and Alicia Keys version is a bold, triumphant anthem blasting from stadiums and skyscrapers, Part 2 is its soulful, stripped-down twin. It's like walking through the city late at night, taking in its magic, its energy, and its dreams. With Alicia's powerful vocals and that smooth piano melody, this version feels personal, as if she's letting us in on her own New York story. From the moment she sings "Grew Up in a Town That Is As Famous as a Place of Movie Scenes," you can see the city, its bright lights, its endless movement, its promise of something bigger. And of course, there's that legendary line, concrete jungles where dreams are made of. If that doesn't make you want to chase your dreams in NYC, I don't know what will. Here's some fun facts about this song. Alicia Keys originally wrote Empire State of Mind for herself. Yep, she was planning to record it as a solo song until Jay-Z heard it and knew it had to be on his album. That is how we got the iconic duet we all know and love today. It's an unofficial New York anthem. The song was played at the Yankees Victory Parade in 2009 after they won the World Series, and to this day, you'll hear it at major NYC events. Even as a sequel, Empire State of Mind Part 2 was a hit on its own. It climbed into the top 5 on the UK singles chart and became a fan favorite worldwide. Alicia Keys brought Times Square to life with this song on New Year's Eve in 2021, proving that no matter the challenges, New York is still standing strong. This song is everything. It's inspirational, emotional, and timeless. And if you love NYC, dream big, or just need a little motivation, it is the perfect soundtrack. Now, why is it on my playlist for my trip? Well, I've been obsessed with this song for as long as I can remember. It's from my favorite artist from New York, which I did talk about in last week's episode, and I'll link that in the show notes if you missed it. That line, "If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere," has always stuck with me. It made me believe that if I ever go to New York, I could do anything. It gave me hope that my dreams weren't out of reach. Plus, let's be real, it's also an absolute bop. You know I'm going to be belting this out the entire time I'm in the city. So I'm sorry for everybody else around me because you know I don't sing well. New York has always seemed so exciting to me, and this song captures that feeling perfectly. I've always been a dreamer, and according to this song, New York is where dreamers go. I just love this song so much, and that's why it's on my playlist. Our next stop is Billy Joel's New York State of Mind. So let's slow things down for a second and step into the soul of New York City. Unlike the high energy anthems that make you want to dance in Times Square, New York's State of Mind feels like cruising through the city at night, watching the skyline glow while jazz notes drift through the air. It's one of the most iconic love letters to NYC, gritty, nostalgic, and full of that unmistakable New York charm. Billy Joel released this masterpiece in 1976, the same year I was born, on his Turnstiles album. But guess what? It wasn't even a hit at first. Over time, though, it became a fan favorite and an unofficial anthem for anyone who calls the city home, or just dreams of it like me. This song isn't about the glitz and glam. It's about that deep, unshakable connection to New York. Lines like, "I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River" line feel like the ultimate homecoming moment, proving that sometimes nothing else compares to being back in the city. Billy doesn't just sugarcoat New York, he embraces its rough edges and raw energy. It's not a place for the faint of heart, but for those who truly belong here, there's nowhere else like it. And with that rich, bluesy piano melody and his soulful voice, it's like the city itself is wrapping you in a warm embrace. Here are some fun facts about this song. Billy Joel wrote this song in just 15 minutes. Inspiration struck while he was riding in a cab back to NYC, and before he knew it, a classic was born. It became a post 9/11 anthem. This song took on a whole new meaning after the attacks, bringing comfort to New Yorkers. Billy Joel even performed it at the 2001 Tribute to Heroes concert. This song was never released as a single. Despite not hitting the charts, it's one of Billy Joel's most famous songs and a staple at his live shows. Ray Charles was a huge influence. You can hear the jazz and blues vibes throughout the song, making it feel like an old school NYC club performance. The NYC connection runs deep. Billy Joel once said that while writing the song, he pictured people taking cabs home at night, gazing at the skyline, and feeling that unmistakable New York state of mind. Why is this song on my playlist? Because New York State of Mind is literally my brain right now. Ever since I found out I was finally going to NYC, aka my favorite city in the world that I haven't been to yet, this song has been on repeat. That opening lyric, "Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood, hop a flight to Miami Beach or Hollywood." Yeah, I've never been a beach person. The city, however, that is where my heart is. Billy Joel just gets it. Between the stunning piano, the jazzy vibes, and the way this song makes me feel like I'm already walking those New York streets, which right now I may be if you're listening to this the week of the podcast, I had to have this one on my playlist because, as I said, it's literally my brain. It's been my brain for months now. All right, next up on my playlist is an absolute must-have, Frank Sinatra's legendary New York, New York. This isn't just a song, it's the song, the ultimate big city anthem. This is the soundtrack to every dreamer, every go-getter, and anyone who's ever felt the pull of the bright lights of New York City. From that grand, brassy intro to Sinatra's powerful vocals, it's pure Broadway meets Hollywood meets the magic of NYC. Originally written by John Kander and Fred Ebb for the 1977 film New York, New York, starring the incredible Liza Minnelli, it was Sinatra's 1979 version that turned it into a global sensation. Now, it's the song that defines New York, played at celebrations, parades, and blasting through Yankee Stadium after every home win. The lyrics tell a story as bold and unstoppable as the city itself. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's the mantra for anyone chasing their dreams. And the music, it literally sounds like a victory march. It makes you want to throw on a tuxedo, strut down Fifth Avenue, and take on the world. Here's some fun facts about this song. It became a post 9/11 anthem, and the song took on even more meaning after the attacks, lifting spirits and reminding the world of New York's unbreakable spirit, just as New York's State of Mind by Billy Joel. New York, New York is a triple name city. The song is named after a movie, which is named after the city. So it doesn't get more iconic than that, right? It's been covered by legends, from Tony Bennett to Lady Gaga. Countless artists have put their own spin on this classic. Let's be real. If you've ever dreamed of walking through Times Square like you own the place or stepping off a plane ready to take on the world, this is your song. It's bold, glamorous, and endlessly inspiring, just like the city itself. Why is this one on my playlist? Because I could not leave it off. This song is basically my personal theme song right now. I will be listening to this on the ride to the airport the day we leave for New York. And let's be honest, I will cry, like ugly cry out of pure excitement. My dream is finally coming true. But don't worry, I packed tons of Kleenex. That opening line, start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. I mean, perfect airport vibes, right? And this line, I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps, that just screams adventure, and I cannot wait to experience it. But the one that really hits home, these little town blues are melting away. Coming from a small town, NYC will be like stepping into a whole new world, and I cannot wait. This song has always been special to me because it's about my favorite place in the world. And every time I hear it, I smile, I dream, and now I have finally made it. My dream did come true. All right, next up on my playlist is Taylor Swift's Welcome to New York, which is a sparkling synth-filled love letter to the greatest city in the world. If stepping off a plane in New York City had a soundtrack, this would be it. Released in 2014 as the opening track of 1989, this song wasn't just a musical shift for Taylor Swift, it was her New York era. With shimmering beats and lyrics bursting with excitement, Welcome to New York perfectly captures that electric, anything is possible feeling of arriving in the city for the first time. Unlike other NYC anthems that highlight the city's grit and grind, this song is all about fresh starts and reinvention. Lines like, it's a new soundtrack, I could dance to this beat forevermore, and everybody here was someone else before, celebrate New York as a place where anyone can become who they've always dreamed of being. It's not about struggle, it's about pure, exhilarating joy. Okay, here's some fun facts about the song. Taylor was living her NYC dream when she wrote it. She had just moved to the city and wanted to capture its exciting energy in a song. It was used to promote NYC tourism. The city itself embraced the song, using it in official campaigns to welcome visitors. Taylor debuted it for an unforgettable audience. She first performed the song for school kids in New York and even donated proceeds to NYC public schools. It's the ultimate movie montage song. With its bright cinematic energy, it's been used in countless TV shows and films to capture that big city dream moment. If you ever imagined yourself strolling through Times Square, looking up at the skyscrapers and thinking, this is where I belong, this song is for you. It's an anthem of adventure, reinvention, and soaking up the magic of NYC, Taylor Swift style. Now, why is this song on my playlist? I will admit I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. But some of her songs just hit perfectly, and this one had a line that instantly made me add it to my playlist. Welcome to New York, it's been waiting for you. That lyric, that's me. I've dreamed of this moment for so long, and when I finally step into the airport in NYC, this will be my personal theme song. I know I'll be overwhelmed with excitement and probably crying happy tears, but don't worry, as I said, I packed plenty of tissues. This song captures exactly how I feel. New York has been waiting for me, and now I finally made it. All right, I have more to come, but first, here is my interesting fact of the week. Welcome, everybody, to my interesting fact segment. Did you know that some of the best live music performances in New York City happen underground? No, I'm not talking about some secret speakeasy. I'm talking about the subway. New York's subway system isn't just a way to get around, it's also an unexpected concert venue, thanks to the Music Under New York program. This isn't just your average street busking. Musicians have to audition for a coveted spot in the program. Every year, hundreds of artists, from violinists to beatboxers to jazz bands, compete for the chance to become an official MTA music performer. Those who make the cut get an official permit to play in some of the busiest subway stations, where they entertain commuters and sometimes even catch the attention of record labels and talent scouts. And here's the really cool part. Some subway performers have gone on to be famous. A great example is Mike Young, a former subway singer whose powerful voice got him all the way to the finals on America's Got Talent. I saw that. He was great. Another success story, the folk pop duo Us the Duo. They started out performing in the subway, went viral online, and ended up signing a record deal. So the next time you're rushing through the subway, take a second to listen, because you never know when you might be hearing the next big star before they make it big. And this is the reason I'm taking small change. Because what if when I'm riding the subway, I see some of these performers and I want to tip them? And now, back to our episode. Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time to add a little Broadway magic to my playlist because, let's be real, I'm obsessed with Broadway, as you know. If you're looking for a song that perfectly captures the thrill and maybe a little bit of the terror of chasing your dreams in the big city, then look no further than Not for the Life of Me from Thoroughly Modern Millie. This bold, determined solo kicks off the show with major main character energy, as Millie Delmount ditches her small-town life and leaps headfirst into the fast-paced world of 1920s New York. Originally performed by the one and only Sutton Foster in the 2002 Broadway production, this song is all about taking risks, being fearless, and refusing to settle for the ordinary. Millie may start off uncertain, but by the end of the song, she's practically unstoppable. Just listen to her belt out, "I'll find my way, just wait and see." It's pure Broadway determination. New York might be tough, but Millie is tougher. With its upbeat yet dramatic melody packed with jazzy Broadway charm, this song feels like stepping into an old-school silent film, with Millie as the star of her own adventure. And let's be honest, who hasn't dreamt of that moment? I know I have. Here's some fun facts about the song and the show. This song launched Sutton Foster's career. She went from being an understudy to a Broadway star overnight when she took over as Millie before the show hit Broadway. Talk about a dream come true moment. This is the ultimate "I'm moving to the big city" anthem. And just like Welcome to New York by Taylor Swift, this song is all about hope, excitement, and fresh starts. It's a classic I want song. Every great musical has a moment where the main character declares what they want, and this is Millie's chance to tell the world she's ready to take it on. The show is a roaring 20s extravaganza. Expect Charleston dance breaks, dazzling jazz numbers, and flapper fashion galore. If you've ever dreamed of packing your bags, chasing adventure, and proving everyone wrong, Not for the Life of Me is your anthem. And it's been my anthem since I first heard it. It's fearless, fun, and filled with the unstoppable spirit of a Broadway leading lady. Now, why has this song made my list? Well, because every time I hear this song, I'm right there with Millie walking through the streets of New York City. The lyrics, I studied all the pictures and magazines and books, and Manhattan, I've prepared for you, describe me perfectly. I remember devouring books and photos of New York, dreaming of the day that I'd finally get there. And now I'm here. I even had a bed set with the New York skyline at one point. So, yeah, you could say I've been preparing for this trip my whole life. Millie and I are kindred spirits. We're both from small towns, both determined to see the Big Apple, and both ready to take on whatever comes next. So every time I sing along, I picture myself strutting through New York City, ready to make my own adventure happen. And trust me, this isn't the only Broadway song about New York City that I love, and next I'm going to talk about the other one. If there's one song that truly captures the pure magic of seeing New York City for the first time, it's NYC from the beloved musical Annie. This big, bold Broadway-style number is an explosion of joy, excitement, and wide-eyed wonder as Annie, Daddy Warbucks, and Grace take in the dazzling sights of the Big Apple. Written by Charles Strauss and Martin Charnin, this song is basically a love letter to New York, where dreams come true and anything is possible. Whether you're an orphan like Annie or a billionaire like Warbucks, NYC is a city that welcomes everyone. The lyrics capture that feeling perfectly. NYC, the shimmer of Times Square. You can practically see the bright lights and bustling streets just by listening. The music swells, the energy builds, and suddenly you feel like you're stepping onto Fifth Avenue, soaking in the glitz, the glamour, and the magic of the city that never sleeps. Here's some fun facts about the song and the show. It's one of the most magical moments in Annie. This is the song where Annie really starts to believe in a better future, making it a defining moment of hope and possibility. It's a Broadway letter to New York City. Right up there with New York, New York, and Welcome to New York, this song captures the electric energy of the city. It's a mix of big and small dreams. Warbucks sings about the power and prestige of New York, while Annie sees it as a place of new beginnings. It's the best of both worlds. It name drops real New York City landmarks. Times Square, the theater district, it's all there, making you feel like you're right in the heart of Broadway. Even the side characters get a spotlight in this song. The $5 guy gets his own hilarious solo, proving that in New York, everyone has a story to tell. So why is this song a must on my New York City playlist? Well, Annie is one of the movies that made me dream of going to New York. Even though this song wasn't in the original film, it was added later in the remakes and the Broadway version. But once I heard it, I knew. This song gets New York. It's big, it's bold, it's exciting, but it throws in little hints about the city's challenges. In a way, it's like a guidebook wrapped in a show tune, preparing you for the highs and lows of New York City life. And that opening line, NYC, what is it about you? Same. That's exactly what I tried to figure out while writing this episode. But my favorite moment has always been near the end when a side character sings, NYC, just got here this morning, $3, 2 bags, 1 me. That line stuck with me forever, and you better believe I'll be thinking about it the moment I arrive. Sure, I'll have a little more than $3 until I start buying souvenirs and food, of course. But I am bringing 2 bags, so that part checks out. I just love this song so much, and I can't wait to blast it while I'm living my dream in my favorite city. It's going to be so awesome. All right, now let's talk about a song that celebrates one of my absolute favorite things, Broadway. I'm talking about the iconic anthem on Broadway. Few songs capture the hustle, ambition, and electric energy of chasing a dream in New York City like this one. Originally recorded by the Drifters in 1963 and later turned into a jazz-fueled powerhouse by George Benson in 1978, On Broadway is all about believing in yourself, even when the odds are stacked against you. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air. I mean, from the very first notes, the song pulls you into a world of young artists stepping onto the streets of New York. Eyes full of hope, but feet hitting the pavement of reality. Sure, the lights shine bright, but Broadway is no fairy tale. It's a battlefield where only the boldest survive. And yet, by the end of the song, the dreamer refuses to give up. I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. It's not just about glitz and glamour, it's about the grit and determination. Making it on Broadway takes more than talent. It takes resilience, passion, and an unstoppable belief in yourself. Here's some fun facts about the song. It was a Grammy-winning hit. George Benson's live 1978 version won the Grammy for Best R&B Vocal Performance, making it the definitive version for many fans. Hollywood loves this song. On Broadway has been featured in All That Jazz, American Beauty, and Big Business, just to name a few. This is the ultimate Broadway anthem. Many struggling actors and performers see this song as their own personal motto. It's all about pushing through the struggle and never giving up on your dream. Another fact, songwriting legends are behind it. It was co-written by music icons Barry Mann, Cynthia Weil, Jerry Lieber, and Mike Stoller, some of the biggest names behind rock and R&B hits. On Broadway isn't just a song, it's a battle cry for dreamers. It's the soundtrack to every performer fighting for their place in the spotlight, proving the doubters wrong and chasing that one shot at greatness. So why is this song on my New York City playlist? It had to be on my playlist because it's basically a love letter to Broadway. I cannot wait to listen to it while walking past all the glowing marquees and neon lights of the theaters. And speaking of theaters, I am seeing 3 Broadway shows while I'm there, and I couldn't be more excited. Another reason this song made the cut, it's one of my favorite songs to dance to during my workouts. It's got that infectious rhythm that makes me want to move, and I love belting it out like I'm on stage at the Tony Awards. While I love the original version, my absolute favorite renditions are the version from the TV show Smash, which is now actually a Broadway musical, playing now on Broadway. So that's cool. And I also like the version from Beautiful, the Carole King musical, because, I can't resist a great Broadway cover. This song is everything I love. Broadway, big dreams, and that unstoppable New York energy. So I'll be playing it on repeat as I live out my Broadway dreams in the greatest city in the world. Last, but definitely not least, it's time for King of New York from Newsies. There's one song that radiates pure excitement, unstoppable energy, and that classic New York hustle. It's King of New York. This show-stopping anthem from Newsies is all about underdogs rising to the top, even if it's just for one glorious moment. The song comes at a huge turning point in the story. The Newsies strike has made headlines, and now the whole city is paying attention to them. They might not be rolling in riches, but for this one moment, they own the streets of New York. This song bursts with tap dancing energy, quick-witted lyrics, and that never-give-up attitude that makes Broadway magic. It's fast, it's fun, and it captures that feeling of believing in yourself even when the odds are stacked against you. Now, here's some fun facts about the song and the show. It is a fan favorite. Newsies has tons of incredible songs, but King of New York is one of the most loved, probably because it features some of the best tap dancing on Broadway. Newsies has some of the best choreography I've ever seen live. Oh my gosh. Speaking of tap dancing, the original 1992 Newsies movie had this song, but it wasn't nearly as dance heavy. When the show hit Broadway in 2012, they cranked it up big time, adding an epic tap dance sequence that turned it into a true showstopper. And I've seen that at the Fox, and it's awesome. Newsies was based on a true story. It isn't just a fun musical, it's inspired by real history. The 1899 Newsboys strike actually happened, and real-life kids stood up to powerful newspaper moguls like Joseph Pulitzer. Talk about fighting for what's right. In the Broadway version, journalist Catherine Plummer joins the Newsies for this song, celebrating her own victory and getting their story on the front page. Let me tell you why this song had to be on my playlist. First of all, Newsies is one of my all-time favorite Disney musicals, and it's set in New York. So how could I not include this song? Every time I hear it, I want to dance. And okay, maybe attempt a few tap moves, whether I should or not is another story. Plus, since I'll be in NYC, I'll be channeling that King of New York, or should I say Queen of New York energy. And there you have it, my ultimate New York City playlist. While the songs I talked about are my absolute favorites, I do have plenty more queued up to the soundtrack of my adventure. From 42nd Street, because of course I'll be walking down 42nd Street at one point, to Manhattan by Sarah Bareilles, because I adore her and well, I'm in Manhattan. To the Lullaby of Broadway, because Broadway is the heartbeat of this trip. My playlist is packed with tunes that capture the magic of the city. I've also got a whole separate playlist dedicated to the Broadway shows I'll be seeing: Aladdin, Wicked, and The Lion King, and I can't wait to dive into the cast recording of Hell's Kitchen while I'm there. I won't be listening to music all the time, but you can bet these songs will be playing during my downtime, getting me even more hyped up for this incredible experience. But let's talk about what I'm most excited for: seeing Broadway shows in actual Broadway theaters in New York City. That is a dream come true. I'm also beyond thrilled to visit Radio City Music Hall and even meet a Rockette. You know, that's where they do the Tonys sometimes, and this year they are doing the Tonys. I'll be there a month ahead of time for this year's Tonys, but when I'm watching this year, I can say I was in that very theater. I'm looking forward to walking through Times Square, taking in the sights, and maybe even spotting a celebrity. There's just so much to look forward to. The subway, it's a little scary, but also part of the adventure. And of course, I can't wait to see the Statue of Liberty and visit the 9/11 Museum, both powerful and iconic landmarks. I'm going to be taking next week off to recover from all my excitement, but don't worry, I will be back soon to share all the details of my trip, plus plenty more music fun. Until then, keep the music in your heart, and I'll catch you next time. Now, it's time to hit play on my playlist and step into the greatest city in the world, New York City. Here I am, finally. Peace out, everyone. This has been the Music in Me podcast. Subscribe now so you don't miss a beat.
This has been